Hi parents, today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about letter formation and how we're going to form our letters correctly. For the first week or two, this is going to be the bulk of your practice with handwriting. I'm using the paper that comes from the kit, the pencil that comes with the kit, and I'm demonstrating proper pencil grip. I'm holding the pencil close to where the paint meets the wood. I'm using the cradle between my pointer finger and my thumb to hold the pencil, and then I'm pressing the pencil between 3 fingers. I'm also using the other hand, my left hand, as my paper holder, so it keeps the pencil or the paper from slipping away from me as I'm writing. So I'm going to demonstrate how I would begin teaching kids to form their letters correctly. I always start with the letter C. We start just under the dots and the dotted line and go up, up, up like a rainbow, come down, scrape the bottom, and stop just before completing the circle. And what we're going to do is just keep making C after C after C. And when kids accidentally make it a little bit too small, I say, whoops, that missed the bottom line. Then we say, oh yeah, that one's much better, back on track. Oops, you forgot to scrape the dots. All right, let's try it again. Try to scrape up, 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 around, down, and stop. And then you just want to have them keep going, and you just say, oh wow, those are looking really good. And you keep practicing and keep practicing. Some will be a little squiggly and not so hot. Some will go above, and you just say, whoa, 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 wait, wait. Remember, up, 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 scrape the dots, come down to the baseline, and stop. And your child is just going to continue making C after C after C. And we're just, remember, focusing on lowercase. Then you come down to the next line and start it again. Then when they get to be pretty good, you can say, well, I tell you what, those look really great. Now, if you can make a C, you can make an O. We start under the dots again, go up, 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 scrape the dotted line, come down. This time we're going to close it up. So again, and kids will often want to start at the bottom, and they do something like this. You say, wait, wait, wait. We start like a C, make a rainbow, go up, 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 scrape the dots, come down. And you just want to coach the whole time. Whoa, you did it. You scraped the top line, you came down and scraped the base line, and you just keep going until you've got lots and lots of O's. Now, I'm a classroom teacher, and I have up to 27, 28 kids in my class each school year. And when we begin the school year, my kids are forming letters like this. I really do make sure they have good handwriting, because people with good handwriting, their work just looks better than kids, even who might have more skills. If smart kids don't have good handwriting, then their work doesn't look like it's done by a smart kid. So I show my kids samples of handwriting, and then I say, which one looks smartest? And then I say, we want your work to look like a smart child did it, like you are. We don't want to go to all that work and not have somebody be able to read it. So then I continually sell how important it is to form our letters correctly. Now I've made lots of O's, and what I'm doing by making more than just 5 or 10 or even 15 is I'm building muscle memory, I'm building stamina, and I'm proving to myself that I'm improving with each letter I form. Now once you get lots of O's that look pretty good, then you say, okay, you made C's, those are gorgeous. You made O's, even better. Now we're going to start just like a C. We go up, 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 scrape the dot all the way to the bottom, then bonk, bonk, we hit the dotted line and straight back down. I never lift my pencil up. I go around, comes up like we're going to close it like making an O, but then I go right up to the dotted line, right down to the baseline. And ta-da, there you have a second grade A. Even if you're only 4, you can make A's like a second grader. We go around like a C, bonk, bonk. And for some reason that bonk, bonk helps. It reminds them to touch the top line and the bottom line. Now notice, if I don't start under the dotted line, I start on the dotted line, then my A's start to look funny. So remember to have them start like a C, make sure it's round and fat, and then straight up, straight down. Now after you make A after A after A, and remember we're building that muscle memory, continue A after A. Every now and then I'll say, oh my word, that could be in a handwriting workbook. That one's so good. And they make some more, and I might put a smile face or a star. And if they really get kind of bad at one, we say, oh, shoot, forget about that one. Let's try it again. And we're just encouraging all the while. Now, after I've made lots and lots of A's, and if your child gets tired or starting to lose some enthusiasm, kind of do some wiggling of the fingers, squeeze each finger, give it some exercise, shake those hands out, and then say, get back to it. And so we're going to make A after A, and then you can say things like, oh my gosh, you've made 5 perfect A's right in a row. Are you so proud of yourself? Those look fantastic. Keep going. Then if you say, okay, you did a C, you did an O, you did an A, let's try to make a D. It's just like an A. We're going to start like a C, but this time we go straight up, way up, right back down. This is how you can remember which one's a C or D and which one's a B, because for a D we go A, B, C, turn it into a D, A, B, C, turn it into a D, and you just keep going, D after D after D. And you can be clever and say, those are delightful D's, anything you want to kind of keep them motivated. After they make lots and lots of D's, you might say, now remember, this D, it starts small, but it ends up being a tall letter. A, B, C, D, and you can have them practice the sound. C, D, D. A, B, C, turn it into a D, D. And practice those letter sounds. Now, after I do C, O, A, then D, then I say there's another letter that starts just like an A too. It starts like a C, straight up, straight down, except this one we give a tail. It hangs low. So we start like a C, straight up, straight down, give it a tail. Say D takes 2 spaces and G takes 2 spaces. C took just 1, O took just 1, A takes just 1 space, but D takes 2, it's tall, and G takes 2 spaces, it's low. So we keep making A, B, C, straight up, straight down, give it a tail. Now you'll see why I added that second piece of paper, because now this is kind of getting into my lines here. So I gave you new paper with that attachment on an email. I'll send it again with this one, but remember we start like an A, straight down, give it a tail. Now we're going to practice this, and honestly, for the first day of practice, this whole page could be filled up with just C, O, A, D's, and G's. But if you have an overachiever, you could flip right back into the Q. Now the Q is just like a G, except for the tail flips back. For the G, I often say it's got a basket where the ball can fall straight down. For the Q, I say it flips right back, and right next to the Q, we're going to make the letter U. You might think, why are we doing a letter U? And I'll tell you why. The letter Q in the English language is always followed by a letter U. So there's no sense in practicing a Q without the letter U right next to it. Now notice that my U is not behind the tail. That kind of looks like it's not part of the same word. So I do Q and U almost as if it's one unit. And you can remind them, QU says qu, qu. A, B, C, straight up, straight down, flip that tail back, start at the dotted line, bonk, bonk, and there you have Q. That will probably do it for day 1. Now here's the thing. On day 2, when you're practicing, day 3, you're going to start back with those C's again. Then you do the O's for a while, and then you do A's for a while, and then you do D's for a while, and you're still cueing. Let's start like a C, close it up, and you're still cueing as they make lots and lots of those across, but you take less time every time you practice, and then you go farther along into the progression. So all the ones that start like a C are for week 1 or so, and then we'll move on to the next letters as we go. So we have Q, QU, and then after that we have A, B, C, we did D, QU. Now the next one is, it starts like a C, but it starts really tall. Do you see how an F, I started like a rainbow, just like we did for that C, but it starts tall, and we cross it left to right. So the next week we'll start F's, and then after F's, because we practiced doing that left to right cross on the F, then we'll start an E that starts left to right under the dotted line, then make a C around it, So straight across, make a C around it, straight across, make a C around it. Then we're going to do some S's. They start like a C, but you push in and pull back. Start like a C, push in and pull back. And you can kind of see how so many letters have the letter C in them. So I think that'll do it for this week. Keep practicing. Remember, your positive attitude makes or breaks this practice. So keep it positive and keep that tip sharp. If you want a sharp writer, have a sharp pencil. I feel like the best tools bring about the best practice. So that's one tip from me. Keep practicing, and I'll see you next week.